Hello my friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Chris and today's video is part 2 of our kitchen DIY decor. So let's go ahead and begin with project number 1. All right, who can have a kitchen decor without a cutting board? I know I can't. I love making over cutting boards. I pick them up every time I see them at the thrift store, or I pick them up if they are on sale at, say, Hobby Lobby, like this one was. But let's go ahead and grab some decoupage paper from Decoupage Central. I thought this would be a gorgeous background. I love all the blue and the flowers, and I just want to kind of get an idea how to position it. And what I decided I wanted to do was have it come in a little bit. So I'm just going to kind of fold my fingers kind of around the edge just to give a crease so I know where I want to tear. And I'm just going to go ahead and grab a water pen. You can definitely use a paintbrush. I'm just going to rub that water pen right where I want to tear, and then I'm just going to start tearing. Easy peasy. This will give us less of a crisp line, so it's not as noticeable. It's going to blend into this cutting board a whole lot better. Once I've got all the sides torn and I like the way it looks, look at there. Now, normally to bring out the colors and the brightness in that decoupage paper, you're going to want to paint your surface. However, I want mine to be kind of more of a blended in. I want it to look a little like it had been painted on there in a way, but I just wanted it to blend a little bit more with the cutting board. I'm going to spritz my paper, apply my decoupage medium, which my choice for this project is my DIY liquid patina, but you do use what you have on hand. And then I'm just going to start in sections, place that down, tap it in with my fingers, grab some plastic wrap and just kind of tap it in. I just want to make sure this goes on there nice and smoothly. And then just proceed and do the same thing all the way down. And then I will apply a good coat over the top and I'll set it aside to dry. Now, once I've got the background figured out, I have these birds that I had left over from a project where I had just kind of cut them off. I knew it would be perfect for this. So I'm just going to find a spot, lay these birds down. This is out of an IOD transfer book, the Brocante transfer book, which happens to be one of my favorite transfer books. I think I'm going to buy a second one, but we'll just rub them birds. And then I just want to add a little bit of greenery inside that Brocante transfer book. There are some blue colored florals which match this paper very nicely. So I just want to give this a little bit of height, make it look like the birds are just kind of perched and around some greenery. You guys know what I'm trying to say. But I'm just going to trim it as I need to. And it's no big deal if I trim off too much. I can always add it back on. These are so easy to piece together, so just keep that in mind. And once I find a spot, we will repeat the process of rubbing that on. And here's just an example. I felt that that spot down here on the bottom was a little bare, so I'm just going to pull off the piece that I had cut off originally and just reattach it right here, just filling in some of that negative space that I think needs a little extra something. All right, so once I get those transfers on, I do go ahead and seal the transfers with my clear liquid patina. And then I'm going to grab some blue chiffon and some lace. The lace is some fabric that I just cut down, and as is the chiffon. It's just some fabric that I actually got on clearance at Hobby Lobby. Never forget to look at the clearance section in the fabrics because you just never know what you're going to score. But I just want something feminine, something pretty. I had this blue chiffon and I thought, you know what? Surely maybe somebody has blue in their kitchen or they love blue. So I'm just going to trim this bow up so it doesn't take away from the birds. So these are going to have some short tails. And once I get that glued here at the top, this project will be done, and you guys will have to let me know, what do you think about this project? Again, all of these projects are going to be on my February 16th Whatnot show. It is called the Creative Rescue, and I hope you guys can join me. If anything, just come over, say hi, see what these items sold for, if they didn't sell, and let's just have some fun. You can bookmark it, and the link is in the description box, but it's coming up just around the corner this Monday, and I'm so excited. In project number 2, I have got this old muffin pan, and the first thing that I want to do is I'm going to take a good coverage of clear liquid patina, and I'm going to go around this entire pan. I just want to seal in all the rusty crusty business that's going on it. I want to make sure it doesn't flake off, and I am doing this, of course, after I cleaned it very well. Now, once that's dried, I've got this paper also from Decoupage Central. I've been getting a lot of paper from them. I actually really like it. And the price point's not too terribly bad. So I saw these little circles of all these farmhouse animals. And did you guys know that horses are a thing right now? People are buying up the horses. So if you sell stuff, grab the horses. So I just cut those out. And I decided there were 4 horses. I decided I was going to use the 4 for the top section and the bottom section. And I'm just going to trim those papers out to fit in there the best that I can. Once I've got my papers all trimmed out, I am going to take some vintage linen, and where I will be placing that paper, I'm just going to go around the bottom of the muffin pan sections and just paint that area in. Once that area is dried down, I am going to grab some Mod Podge. Yes, I bounce around from what products I use. So I'm going to use this Mod Podge, just put a good layer there on the bottom, grab my paper and just place that in and completely cover it with a coat of Mod Podge, and I will do this to the remainder of those sections. Now for those 2 middle sections, I am going to grab some tacky glue and some Spanish moss and make a mess. But I wanted to use the tacky glue and go ahead and adhere these down. I do also use a little bit of hot glue. That way it has that tacky glue some time to dry down. But I wanted to make sure that the stuff was going to adhere because, you know, that hot glue alone and metal isn't necessarily the best route to go by itself. So I do both glues. And then I decided I wanted to add some of that reindeer moss. I just wanted to give it a little bit of color, add some green in there. And I have this spray adhesive, and I thought that that might work. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to work or not. I did go back behind it and apply some hot glue in some little sections there to make sure this was going to stick down. So again, I just want to make sure that this piece stays together so when I sell it, I don't have a disappointed customer. Okay, so I've got some lavender picks, and just FYI, I love lavender for spring. That is my favorite floral to use in my spring crafts, so you'll probably see a lot of it. But you use any floral that you decide. But I'm just going to trim these pieces down. I'm going to tuck 3 little snips into each section that has that moss in there, just making it look like lavender is blooming up from that moss. Give it a springy touch, if you will. Now I've got this ribbon. Actually, it was just a piece of fabric that I had cut, and it's about a 2-inch thick piece of ribbon. I'm going to trim it down to about 12 to 13 inches in length and kind of fold it over on itself. Figure out how wide I want my bow to be on the top of this fan. I definitely want to make sure that you can see those horses in the top tins there, so I want to make it small enough to see that. And once I got that figured out, I'm just going to grab some jute twine, wrap it around, and tie that bow into place. Now I'm going to grab the remainder of that fabric and I am going to cut it down in half. Just doing the snip and tear method. I just want the tails of this bow to be, a little slimmer, if you will. And I just thought that was the best way to achieve it. And then I'm just going to tuck the tails up in there and tie it into that jute twine we wrapped the bow with and double knot it, snip off the excess and place it up there on the top. And then I've also got this little tag that I had just made with a stamp. And then I'm just going to tie it into the bow. You can see what I'm doing here. I'm just going to tie it in there. And when I tie it in there, I'm going to leave the tails attached to that burlap string that's attached to that little tag, because I'm actually going to be using that as the hanger. And all I'm going to do is tuck that one side of the string in there. I will tie it down into a double knot. And we've got a hanger. Just tie a knot in at the top of that string and ta-da! Then I'm going to snip off a little bit of those tails and this project is done, and I absolutely love the way this came out. What did you guys think? Okay, our final project is going to be on this cheese grater. It was just sitting in my stash. There's nothing written on it. It looks old, I guess, but regardless, it's time for a makeover. And I have been dying to use this mint chip paint from DIY. So I'm going to grab a chippy brush and just messily brush this on. Okay, I still want it to look old and vintage. And I want it to look like it had been, painted originally, but all that paint is starting to chip and peel off. Once that paint is dried down, I am going to seal this with a good coat of clear liquid patina. Now I've grabbed these flowers. I had picked these up at Hobby Lobby, which reminds me I need to go pick up some more because these are gorgeous. But I want those florals just to kind of be tucked in here, and these holes in this grater is perfect to tuck things in. So I'm going to trim it off the excess of that greenery. You can always try to secure them in place with a little bit of wire, but I found that this wire was a little too thick, so I gave up on that. I decided to go ahead and grab the Starbond glue and just glue those stems where I want them to stay so those florals stay in position, and just hold it there till it dries. Now I went ahead and just printed this out. I actually had it in my stash, but I went ahead and just glued it to the back of some cardstock. I'm going to cut it out after that glue has dried down. And just using a little magnet that I had gotten from the Dollar Tree in the past, just put that right there just to show you can put any photo in place. You could attach some recipe cards and just use it as a little magnet board in the kitchen. And I'm going to grab some fabric lace. I'm just going to trim it so I can pretty much place that through the bottom of the grater, look like it's just a little lace towel hanging down. And then this project will be complete. And you guys, I know this was short and sweet. These are easy projects, but they sure do make a decor statement. And I hope you'll give them a try. Let me know in the comments which was your favorite. And I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.